Welcome to the next video, H team. Right, in this one, I am going to take raw lumber and turn it into a side table. It's just going to be purely hand tools, so stick around, check the video out, see what it's going to be like. I'm not going to make you watch me put the boards together. I've already put them together, so let's grab them out the clamps and let's get started. So I've already glued up 2 panels of wood. This is the top, and behind me over there is the base. This is French oak. It doesn't need to be white oak or anything like that because I am going to be staining this black. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting a circle out of this for the top and then a circle out of the other piece for the base. Let's start marking it up. It's a bit colder here in South Africa at the moment, so it's been gluing for a couple of days. I got the wood milled up from Rare Woods SA, our local lumber suppliers. Check their link out down below in the comments, in the description, sorry. It's roughly to thickness. I don't mill my boards exactly the same size before gluing it up. I'd rather do it after gluing it up. It makes it much easier to get all of them at the same level. So yeah, I'm just going to clean up a little bit of the glue marks off here. Measure out my circle that I need. I need a 600mm diameter circle. Yeah, let's get cleaned up, clamps away. Here's the base. This one's a little bit smaller. What I want to do is I'm just going to clean some of the excess glue squeeze out. This board's quite flat after I glued it up because I took my time. I hand planed the edges before I butted them. You can see on this wood here, because it's oak, from the steel, the clamps, it's got a little bit of tannin distortion on there, so it's changed the wood a little bit of black around there, but it's okay. Like I said, I'm going to stain this wood black. So I've got that roughly flat. I'll do the same to the top there as well, and then we will mark out our boards. All right, so I need this one 500mm, so I'm going to mark between the points 250 there. So that's going to end up being 500mm. Now I just want to try and get a rough center here. So that is 520 there, so that's 26. And this is just over 500, so that is 25. So let's do a quick check to see if that there will work. Quick check. Good on that corner. Pretty good there. Okay, pop a little nail in there. Right there on the corner. So there's my circle. I'm going to do the same thing on the big one. This one's going to be 600mm. So we'll do that, and that's the 2 circles we're going to cut. So I'm going to use a handsaw on this now just to get this round. So I've just marked off the corners there that I can cut off with a handsaw. So yeah, let me pop this in the vise. I'm going to use a Ryoba saw here. So you can start the saw slightly at an angle just so you can get that curve. Then go back in and go straight down. One more corner. So basically, this is the same as you doing it on your circular saw where you keep turning it and cutting the ends off. I'm doing that just with a handsaw and a lot less risk of losing a finger and a lot less dust. It's the same story over and over and over again. Okay, that's it. So what I'm going to do is put it in the vise. I'm using a number 5.5 Stanley, and you are going to go across the grain. Well, you're going to go across the grain, you're going to go with the grain, you're going to go all kinds of different directions here. I'll show you from a different angle how I'm going to make my way around this circle. I've done the big circle already. Jump on the other side and come and check this out. Here we've got it. You can see I started there already and I've worked my way up until there. So now I'm going to go across the grain, loosen this clamp up a bit, loosen that, flip it around till about there, so now I can get in with the plane over there. I'm going to go across there. So what I'll do is find a high spot and just try and get it level. I'm going to pull this blade in a bit. So you see I'm getting close to the line. I'm keeping this perpendicular to the face. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Now I'm going to take off this little ridge over there. Whenever you hit the corner like that, it sounds like it's knocking. Until it's gone. I'm going to come around to this side here, just go slightly up. So you can just keep finessing the high spots, tiny bit that side there. And then come onto this side. This is a very sharp blade. And then you can just go light passes. Some wax on here as well, and this will get you nice and round shape there. Now I'm going to start flipping it, but you can see now the grain's going to start changing direction. So I'm going to bring that down to about there, tightened up. Now what I'll do is I'll actually go this way here, and because we passed the perpendicular, which is about there, we can take the blade out a little bit more. I'm just going to try and get rid of these bumps quickly. Quite a heavy cut coming off. I'm pretty close with that, so I'll go back now. Spokeshave, come back this way because we're coming with the grain. Light passes. You don't want to go heavy. That's it. Good work, huh? Right, so I'm going to carry on doing the rest of this now. See, I'm passing this side here now, so now I'm going into the grain. So I'm only going to start from here, so I don't have it tear out on me. Okay. Keep it nice and smooth. And flip again. See, this is what I'm saying. The closer you can get with a saw, the better. Okay. So this is just to smooth it out, basically. Beautiful finish there. Okay, so we've made the circle now. This is the bigger one. I'm going to flatten the top and bottom. Just get some of the ridges out. Just going to use same plane, number 5.5. Get some wax. It's still quite sharp, but what I will do is sharpen it afterwards. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go across the grain just to check for any really high spots. Pretty good there. Look, I'll glue these boards up. They were pretty flat, so preparation helps you out here. Okay, so now I'm going to go with the grain again. Back up this blade. Runs that way, other half runs that way. Just fine. Okay, do the other side. First I go across the grain. done that now. Not too bad, both sides pretty close to flat. So now what I'm going to do is we've got to make a deep chamfer all the way around. Bottom one I've done already. It's got a deep chamfer on both sides. The top one, it's going to have a shallow, like a 45-degree chamfer around the top and a deep chamfer around the bottom. So let's mark those two up. Right, all I've got, felter pin and set square. This is the top side. I am going to set it to 30 millimeters around the top. Put a line around like that. Same thing on the bottom. Bottom's going to be 40 mil, so it's only a 10 mil difference, but it'll give a slightly different angles. Yeah, I'm going to mark that, and then simply on the sides, what I'm going to do is just hold my finger and do it about 6 millimeters from the top, make a line, go across like that. So it's going to be 6, 12, 18 mil. Equal space, leave it kind of skinny on the side like that. So yeah, let's mark that up. That's around there, and that side marked up, so I'm just going to do the base side. This one's at 40 mil. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this back on the table. Here's the grain running like that. I'm going to start with a hand plane and start taking off the chamfer that way. I'm going to get a flat spot first over here so I can get my angle. And then what I'm going to do is every time I hand plane, I'm going to turn a slight degree just to that side, and then I'll turn this and rotate the whole way around. It's going to hurt your arms, but I promise you it's good fun. By the time you're done with this, you're not going to have to go to the gym for a while, that's for sure. Okay, so let me start this. I'm going to use the 5.5 first. I've just sharpened the blades again. You can see the line that I want to get down to. So I'm going to start going like this. This is going to set my angle for the rest of it. Blade out a bit more. Getting close to there, but it's getting very close to the sideline there. So I need to angle it a little bit more so I can get those two spots on. So let me just do that. Okay. On the line there. There we go. On the line there, on the line there. Loosen up the vise. I'm going to turn it about 5 degrees. Now I'm going to start going back on that flat section, starting a little bit off my line. So if my line's there, I'm going to turn it ever so slightly so I can go 1, then move 1. So I'm there now. Now you'll see I've gone from here all the way to there. Once I've done that, I'm going to turn it a bit more again, keep going around. Almost done. And there and here, over halfway. Okay, there's both of them done. Just want to show you how I'm finishing it off with a Spokeshave, nicely down the side, with the grain, and I'm just getting everything nice and level. So that's going away that way because the grain's going this way. On this side here, the grain's going that way, so Let me see here. Get this here nice and smooth here. And then on the end, here right on the side, I've got some tricky end grain to deal with. So what I'll do with the Spokeshave is I'm going to angle it down. So I'm kind of shearing it all the way to the bottom. The grain's going like that. I'm kind of shearing it down so that it gets it nice and smooth there. And it's looking great. But yeah, just spend some time now, just getting all your lines straight and getting all of this grain looking good. I'm super happy, so I'm going to move on to the legs now. Okay, so this is the bottom of the top of the bottom. All we have to do now is put 2 perpendicular legs in the base like that. I've got a nice board here. The width is just over 150 mil. So I'm just going to cut the 2 out. I think, if I remember correctly on the measurements, it was about 380 high from the inside to inside. So it's 420 mil high. So I'm just going to cut these 2, and then I'm going to use my compass again to draw the same size circle on here so that I can reference. It's going to be 2 housing joints, just by the way. Once I cut the legs, got them all nice and squared. I'm just going to cut simple, straightforward housing joints, which is going to go about 3/4 of the way through here, which is 15 mil deep. There. And then, yeah, have these all nice squared up, and that's just going to sit in. Very simple table. I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. So get a top view, have a look, listen to some tunes. Wobbling quite a lot. Okay, and let's get that down to 150. It's got my 150 line across here. Let's go. Right, shooting board back. Both legs are 100% exactly alike. Oh, okay, so now mark up the housing joints. Like I said, simple. So I'm going to draw a circle, same diameter circle on bottom of the top of the bottom. Draw a square in between that, lay up the legs, mark them out with the marking knife, chop them down, 15 mil, put them together. It's 82 millimeters on the corner. So I'm going to draw one line there, and one. This is to ensure that it's square up to the 82 millimeter mark. That will ensure that even if I don't get it 100% center on the other one, it should still be 82 and 82 on the other side. So to get a flat square, I'm just going to use my cabinet scraper, because that is perfectly square. So what I can do is I can line this up onto that line to mark it out. Now, what I've got to remember to do is when I line my legs up here, is I've got to make sure I know which one's top, which one's bottom. So this is just vital to mark out here. So I've marked out those 2 corners. I only need the 2 corners where I can tuck the leg into, and the same thing on that side. I'll mark it up in situ, but I need to just mark this one up, same thing. So if I get this on the line there, 820 at There's 820 there. It's pretty close, so that should line up nicely. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's just mark that up again. Easy enough to mark up. So what I'm going to do now is just get the square line here. Okay, that's my two corners. That will line up spot on, poof, like that. Okay, so I'm going to mark up. This is the top like that. That's there, like that. Spot on. And on that line there, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some tape. So pop that on there. Label this one as 1. And then underneath here is 1. And an arrow for outside. Number 2, and that face is outside. I'm going to put some stickers on this one so long. Like that. So I've marked that, and I'm just going to mark 3 and 4. What I'm going to do, just so I got reference here, I'm just going to hold it like this. So that there is 4, and that's the outside, so put an arrow there. This one must be 3, and put the arrow outside. I'm actually going to draw a line in. I'll do it on the other one, just so that got it in. Now what I'll do is I will start marking each one with the black line, and I will chop inside the line, 15 mil down, 1 outside in, pop it in. That's that one. Next one. So I've got this one locked as number 3. So look for number 3. That's number 3. Face and in. Get this right on the lines. Now number 4. Outside in. That one there. Perfect. Let's get chopping. Keeping about a 2 mil gap to the inside. You can go quite aggressively on this. And then taking a smaller chisel just on the ends, just to slice it off. Once you've done a row all the way around like that, bevel down on your chisel just over halfway. Then you're going to swap sides just below the ridge. So what you want to go do is go down again. Come to the end. Gone down almost 5 mils already. So yeah, just keep chopping away till you get to close to the desired depth. And I've got my router plane set at the right depth so that I can get the exact same depth on each. Well, you could call it a mortise, I guess. Let's see. Okay, so once we've got our depth there, I'm going to come in and halve these gaps. Once you're close, now we're going to go just inside the lines. Last side here. Okay, that's number 1. Number 1 in and face. That's it. That's it. Solid, solid, solid joint. I've got one more to go. I'm going to go through this one and then I will show you what's next. All right, that is the table put together. It's a little bit front heavy there right now, but that's obviously because it's not glued in. But yeah, that's the table. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give it a sand, get it trimmed on the edges, and then glue it up. So I'm going to pull it apart, get it all nice, and then stick it together. I'm not going to bore you with the sanding, so yes, that's it.